Hey guys, Dendrite here, and I have decided to try something different. Lately, I'm very sick of CTFs, I'm very sick of hacking labs, all of this simulated stuff, so I'm naming this series OTR, or Off the Record, which is going to be what it sounds like. It's meant to be super chill. I'm just going to load up a game and then talk about whatever's on my mind or whatever questions you guys have all sent in. But for today, I'm just going to keep it super simple and answer what I think is the question I've been asked the most over the years since I started posting on socials, since I started posting on Instagram mainly. It's been like 3 years by this point. And wow, I have been on the interwebs way too long. So here we go, how to actually learn ethical hacking. And I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek because I don't think anyone really ever fully knows quote-unquote hacking. I think what it is more pattern recognition. I think it's more pattern recognition when it comes to certain vulnerability classes, when it comes to certain tech stacks. Like you're never gonna memorize every single form of XSS right off the bat. Like one, you're probably never gonna encounter all forms of XSS in the wild. And then even if you do encounter all forms of it, chances are you're still going to have to look things up or look at a proof of concept someone wrote for an exploit or figure out how to weaponize it. So you're just never going to know it all, and you're constantly reading and constantly studying. And if you're in this space, I know personally for me, I scroll a lot on Twitter, I scroll a lot on X, because that just seems to be where all of the hackers are. Opinions on Elon aside, I get he's a very divisive figure and all that, but that's just where all of the InfoSec people are for the moment. I don't know that that's going to be the case for much longer though, because I've seen quite a few prominent people on Twitter and on Twitter/X have their accounts banned. So Nightmare Eclipse, vulnerability researcher, he had his GitHub and his GitLab suspended. I'm not exactly sure what the details surrounding it were, but I'm fairly sure Microsoft owns GitHub. I'm not sure if they own GitLab, but he was doing vulnerability research, and I think he found an O-Day or something like that, which of course they don't like. I mean, Microsoft's attitude towards responsible disclosure has always been inconsistent. But I digress. First and foremost, easiest thing you can do to get into the space is to sign up for a Twitter account or X account and just start looking for InfoSec people, start looking for ethical hackers. I personally follow Tommy DeVos, so his user handle is DoggyG. One of the top guys on the leaderboard of HackerOne. Not sure about BugCrowd, but definitely HackerOne. He's less of a bug bounty hunter, more of a security researcher. I follow another guy called Smux. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'll see if I can find his handle and link it below. But he's more red team. He's less web app pen testing and more full-on adversary emulation. So he has a ton of cool blog posts about writing keyloggers and analyzing malware and reverse engineering malware and all that stuff. So he's really cool to follow as well. Once you find a couple of these people and start following them and start liking ethical hacking related posts, then the algorithm is just going to feed you more of that. So I would start there and just keep tailoring, just keep liking the InfoSec related stuff, and you will get more of it. So when it comes to the actual areas of knowledge and what you need to know, there are a few things I'd recommend becoming proficient in. And I'm not telling you to do what I did. People can do whatever they want. My road was kind of messy. And again, hacking is what I do outside of work. It's not my day job, because I did not want it to feel like a day job, even though I've been offered, I was offered a cybersecurity role fairly recently and I didn't take it, but that's another story for another time. So I just do this outside of work for funsies. So the main areas of knowledge that you need proficiency in are first and foremost computer basics. You need to be proficient with computers in general. You should be comfortable with using computers, navigating the file system, running programs, deleting programs. Just, you should be able to use a computer and not have the thing catch fire, which isn't a huge ask. But if you're newer to technology and you haven't maybe used computers as much as the regular person, which might be the case for some people, I would recommend the CompTIA A+ certification, even if you don't take the certification. Like, I took the certification exam and got the cert. But there's a lot of free study material out there. I know Professor Messer is a really great source for all this stuff, so you can look up his playlists on A+, look up his playlists on Network Plus, which is going to be the next thing to go over, which is networking. Just pull up a web browser and Google for free A+ study resources and Network Plus study resources. The next thing to go over would be networking, so IP addresses, IPv4, IPv6, ARP, subnetting, different ports and different protocols. So A+ is really more about computer basics, and Network Plus and the Network Plus related content is understanding how computers talk to each other through the different ports and the different protocols. Again, even if you don't take the certification exam, just look up the content and understand the content, because there are plenty of books and free YouTube playlists and things like that out there. So you don't need the certifications. I personally think certifications are overrated. They have never really helped me personally, and I've got several of them. I think it's a field where like most things, you really have to know somebody, and you gotta have another way to get a leg up, because anyone can pay money and take a certification exam. And every year more and more certifications get issued, which inflates the value of the certification, which defeats the purpose of even having the certification, because anyone that meets a certain threshold can get one. That's not to say that the content isn't valuable, but what I'm saying is it's not enough to distinguish you anymore if you do want to go into it as a career. So just keep that in mind. And the CompTIA Network Plus isn't the only one, by the way. There is also CCNA, which is Cisco's networking cert. That's another really good one as well. If you look at David Bomble's channel, he has plenty of stuff on CCNA, and I'm sure Network Chuck has some stuff as well. So they're both really big networking guys. I'm sure you will find something on their channels. Okay, I just got a message and I lost my train of thought and forgot what I was saying. I was talking about networking. So after networking, there really is no clean path. So I'm just gonna say what I did. So I ended up buying a few hacking courses off Udemy, or Udemy, however you want to pronounce it. One of them was really shit, so I'm not even going to bother mentioning the name, but the other one was TCM Security. This is back before TCM Security Academy was a subscription thing, and Heath Adams was just selling all of his ethical hacking courses as like a one-off purchase. So I bought his practical ethical hacking course on Udemy, and then when TCM Security were having a sale, I bought it outright through them as well. And it wasn't just their course I also bought their movement, pivoting, and persistence course, and their Linux and Windows privilege escalation course as well, and a bunch of other ones. But those were the main ones. And I remember I spent a whole summer just in my room, just every day, just working through those courses hour by hour. Just did them for fun. And on the subject of courses, if you can afford it and do feel like spending the money, INE's stuff, formerly eLearn Security, is really good as well. They do have a subscription model though. As far as books go, I've only really gone into a few books from start to finish, and one of those is the Web Application Hacker's Handbook, 2nd edition. Now, it is pretty old by this point. It's definitely over 10 years old. I'm fairly sure, but it is still a very valuable resource, just to learn about the OWASP top 10 web app architecture, various recon methods, so crawling, spidering, learning about the different vulnerability classes. So it's more like a physician's desk reference for ethical hackers, if anything. I'd definitely recommend it. And in terms of labs, right off the bat, there are a few different ones. Portswigger, the creators of Burp Suite, have a lot of free labs for the OWASP top 10, and that'll be enough to keep you busy for months. And there are lots of walkthroughs available for them online as well. And my other two favorite CTF platforms are, of course, Hack the Box. They have a basic free plan. It's not great, but it's enough for you to see what the platform's about. And I definitely would say it's worth spending the monthly fee or even getting a yearly subscription, so you can get access to dedicated lab instances and just, it's a smoother experience for the platform, in my opinion. And the same with Try Hack Me as well. I lean more towards Hack the Box because IPSec has a ton of videos on YouTube about it. He'll just have super detailed walkthroughs of various Hack the Box machines, and I was just watching his walkthroughs when I first got started. Like, I'd boot up a machine, I'd have his walkthrough going on the other screen, and if he clicked a button, I clicked a button. If he ran an Nmap scan with certain flags, I would run an Nmap scan with the same flags. Also, OXDF, he has moved on from Hack the Box, I believe, but he also has a really detailed blog of not just Hack the Box write-ups, but a lot of other useful pen testing information as well. Again, super rough, super quick video. I hope this helps at least one person out there who's interested in the field. Leave your comments and questions down below. I'll try to reply to as many of them as I can. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I feel cringe about saying it, but, you know, I want to grow, so I gotta do it. See you in the next one, guys.